So now we're going to have a quick run through of the environment and its effects on behavior. So what is the environment in reference to behavior analysis? It is defined as the conglomerate of real circumstances in which the organism or reference part of the organism exists. So what does that even mean? Basically, it's any real physical event that happens. It could be outside events such as a car moving, a sound being made, or seeing a direction written out on a piece of paper. Any outside physical event that happens that could cause us to have any kind of behavior. Okay, these could also include other aspects of a person, such as them feeling sick, them being itchy, or being hungry. Those are all parts of a person's environment. Part of a person's environment involves stimuli and how they affect us. The definition of a stimulus is an energy change that affects an organism through its receptor cells. That means any environmental factor that needs to be sensed through sight, touch, smell, taste, or hearing. Okay, so things like hearing noises, seeing certain things, smelling something bad, that could be a stimulus that can evoke a behavior from us. Some examples of stimuli include hearing a sound, which can cause a behavior of moving toward that sound. So if somebody's calling my name, I might be inclined to walk over toward them. Another stimuli could be the light in my room is on. So my behavior would be to go over to the light switch and turn it off. And lastly, another stimuli could be my dog smells bad. So my behavior is to give them a bath. So about stimulus classes. Stimuli can be described formally by their physical features, temporally, which is in relation to time, and functionality, how they affect behavior. This refers to a group of stimuli sharing a set of common elements. They can be described in classes with examples like how big they are, what color they are, how intense they are, if they're different weights, and their different spatial positions. They could all be grouped into different classes. And they could also be social or non-social. So non-social examples would be loud noises, red lights, things like that. And social examples could be if we're asking questions, giving somebody a high five. Those are all different stimuli that involve interacting with somebody. And lastly, we're going to talk about temporal locus and stimuli. So temporal locus is a term meaning that something happens during a moment of time. Okay, so stimuli could happen at certain times when it pertains to a behavior. The two important stimuli are antecedents and consequences. Antecedents are stimuli that happen before behavior, and consequences are stimuli that happens after a behavior. A consequence isn't necessarily a bad thing. It's just any stimuli that happens after a behavior. So frequently in behavior analysis, we look at functions of behavior by doing what is called ABC data, which is taking antecedent, behavior, and consequence recordings. So an example could be, we have the antecedent of a friend saying, "What time is it?" The behavior will be me saying back 2:30. The consequence of that behavior is the friend tells me thanks. Another example is I see a soda machine, so my behavior is to put money in it. My consequence is I get a drink out of the soda machine. And lastly, it could have another antecedent of me feeling hot. My behavior would be to turn on the air conditioning, and the consequence of that behavior is I get to cool down.